War, torture, sausages, opera, Mozart, Julie Andrews, a didgeridoo, and lots of fireworks. All this and more in Saltsburg on New Year's Eve.
We've arrived in Saltsburg, we're in the Marketplatz, and that is where we're going to be staying for the next few days. Hello. We're on our floor now. Little welcome Mozart chocolates, isn't that sweet? And here's the view from our tiny balcony. And there's the castle. And almost directly opposite to our hotel is, most importantly, this place. Well, I guess it's only fitting to start here at Mozart's Geburtshaus, meaning Mozart's birth house. Imagine little Mozart running up and down these stairs and playing around. Tonight we're going posh to the Mozart dinner recital. It's done out really nice. We've got this beautiful Christmas tree just as we come in, where it's nice and warm.
Yeah, it was beautiful, but to be honest, I found it a bit bloody scary.
Yeah, baby Jesus, away in a manger. Couldn't really ask for a better seat, could you? We're about as close as you can get.
Come? E dai l'ardimento di scusarti? Oh, se non fosse...
Non mi toccò la punta della dita. Non me lo credi?
Cream of crayfish. The next recital after our soup.
I got back a bit late for the second part of the recital because I was chatting to the male singer who was telling me he'd performed in many places all over the world, and he said his favourite singers are Elvis Presley and Freddie Mercury.
Good morning, it's 6 a.m. in the morning on the 30th of December, and I'm looking down on the town of Saltsburg. That's the Hotel Bristol where we're staying, on the top floor, about the centre. I got up early so that I could go down to that little church behind the trees called St. Sebastian Church, where all the Mozarts are buried.
But the gates were locked and I couldn't get in, so I went back to the hotel for breakfast.
This is what we're talking about. Morning.
And then had a little power nap. Then I woke up to this beautiful vision.
It's snowing! Whoopie-doo! Okay, there's the house that Mozart moved into in 1773. He moved there because he needed a bigger place, and he did a lot of writing there, lots of letters, 273 letters or something like that, plus a lot of music that he wrote.
Mozart's Wowen house looked great, and then we were off on our adventures again, visiting churches and castles and churches. But first, we went to the Sasha for a quick drinky poos and a cake before we were off to the castle. The Hotel Sasha in Saltsburg is a 5-star deluxe hotel located on the shore of the river Salzach. It was built between 1863 and 1866. Since its opening in 1866, the hotel has welcomed many members of the ruling classes, noblemen, high society, and artists such as Richard Strauss, the composer, Tom Hanks, the actor, Julie Andrews, the actor-singer, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the late Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, including many, many more, as the photographs on display in the Café Sasha will attest to. It's a magnificent hotel, and if you find it a little bit above your pay grade, you can still enjoy the ambience in its cafe whilst having a cup of coffee and a slice of cake.
We're now going up to the castle, the most famous landmark here in Salzburg, and we're going on that funicular.
Simon, you tell them about the castle. You're better at it than me.
Standing like a guardian over the town is the mighty castle known as Festung Hohensalzburg, or High Salzburg Fortress.
And the best way to get there is by a cable car, unless you feel like the 30-minute walk.
Now be warned, the cable car shifts a bit. We came up about this fast. Salzburg Castle is actually a small self-contained town. In fact, it's the largest fully preserved town in Europe.
I know this one. They used to put that in your mouth and then just unscrew it until it opened wide. And some guy actually tried it on the TV and couldn't handle it for very long.
Well, that looks like a clown's mask, but it isn't. It's actually a weapon of torture. This one's a weapon of torture, generally for the man.
And this is where they put all your bits when they finish with you.
It's time for a little break now. We'll just have a warm-up. And I've been asking this waiter for a menu for bloody ages, and the guy just completely ignores me. Now his phone's ringing. Crap. I'll just throw his name.
On the way back down from the castle, I was suffering my own kind of torture because I realised I'd lost my hat and my ears were falling off. So I had to buy a new one.
We found the castle and its museums fascinating, but it was lunchtime, so we went back to our favourite eating hole, the Sasha, and decided to try the Sasha grill this time. I enjoyed my posh burger and chips. Very nice, thank you. It was a late lunch and we took our time. It had been quite a hectic morning, so as evening approached we had a little stroll around town, then decided to have an early night to be refreshed and ready for the long, busy last day of the year.
Wir sind ganz aufgegangen in das Sorge, was ihr beschert haben uns an die Freunde weltverwandt.
After breakfast I decided to visit the San Sebastian church again at a reasonable hour to make sure I'd get in this time. I don't know about you, but I think old graveyards are beautiful. They make me feel relaxed and reflective, and this graveyard was very special to me as many of Mozart's family were buried here. His grandmother, his father Leopold, his sister Nannerl's first child, and his wife Constanza. Mozart himself was buried in a common grave in accordance with contemporary Viennese custom at St. Mark's Cemetery on December the 7th, 1791. He wasn't buried in a pauper's grave, as legend would have us believe.
And while I was filming, I noticed something really weird at this grave. I don't know if you can see it, but we certainly did.
The Mirabell Palace was built in 1606 by Prince Archbishop Wolf Dietrich, who was largely responsible for the shape of the old Saltsburg town as we know it today. The Mirabell Palace was built for his mistress Salome Alt. The Archbishop built this statue to her in the gardens of the palace.
The gardens are right at the back of our hotel, and that's what they look like in springtime, but I like them like this.
Doe, a deer, a female deer. A typical winter market, not the tourist type market. That, of course, is with all the Mozart stuff, and then you go over here and you got your enormous pretzels and all your meats and breads, all good stuff, and of course the famous Austrian dumplings. Look at the size of them, and your beautiful breads. And over here you've got Leberknödel, which, if I'm not mistaken, is horse meat, which is lovely. Lots of flowers. And of course we wouldn't be in Austria without sausages. Sausages! Sausages! And of course you can get yourself a chunk of cheese, or take the whole down wheel if you want. Look at the size of that. That's my hand. Sausages! And here is where you get the original Mozart Kugel in its distinctive blue wrapper. Don't be fooled by all the red ones that are everywhere. Buy the original.
guy was bloody amazing. He was playing the didgeridoo for about 10 minutes before he took a break, and then he only took a short break. But it's just by luck that we saw him, because he just happened to be leaning against the wall of the cathedral that I wanted to visit. And I can honestly say that though I've seen a lot of churches and cathedrals in my time, Saltsburg Cathedral's got to be one of the most beautiful I've ever seen. Mozart's mum and dad were married there. Mozart was baptized in that very font, and he was also the church organist from 1779 to 1781. None too happy about it, I might add, because he did not like playing and writing church music. After all, the guy had performed to royalty when he was 6 years old. He travelled extensively, and here he was in his local church playing church music. And let's not forget, he was 22 years old and known to be a raunchy fellow with a somewhat saucy attitude, to put it politely. So I can understand why it would have gone against the grain.
Now, as you will see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 organs here, and the one we're looking at right now, I believe, is the one that Mozart used to play. It's 12:30 on the afternoon of the 31st of December, and that's the main street. That's a lot of people.
There was one last thing to do before we prepared for the New Year's celebrations.
And that was to go and visit Mozart's house. In 1773, the Mozarts moved here to the Tanzmeister house, the dance master's house. Mozart was 17 years old. The house is now a museum to Mozart. It was severely damaged by bombing in 1944, but painstakingly and beautifully restored.
After our visit, we went back to the hotel, and I was going to have a little nap, but I was woken up by the onset of the New Year's celebrations, which started literally with a bang.
Seven, 6, 5, 4,
3, 2, 1.
Still going on, but it's beautiful. I've never seen anything so amazing. It's just everywhere, it's all around you, it's literally in your face. In the little garden they've got in the front here, they were letting them off there, and so they were actually exploding right in our faces. Magnificent, amazing, never seen anything like it.